Yes, bro. Oh, wait. You know,
Hold on.
you know, always starts off with a laugh. Wait, you got corona, dude?
Got corona on my foot.
About you
bottom.
coughing. About you coughing.
Corona,
Look, get off the podcast with your cough, man. Give me no corona.
Corona can't touch me, man. I am cowfoot.
You're cowfoot.
I am cowfoot and chicken foot, so corona can't touch me.
Oh, is that what you're eating? No, okay, yeah.
Nah, what hell? Have you not heard them Jamaicans talking about what they eat now? No virus can touch them because they yam all kinds of weird concoctions. They're worse than the Chinese. No, man's are blaming Chinese. Them man's yam monkey foot, bloody cow foot, chicken foot, bloody hell, chicken back. Ah, man, how come my team's not working?
I can't see nothing. I'm confused. Yo, I can't see nothing. I got this camera. You know, wait, what am I looking for? I'm looking for something.
So, have we got a guest today?
No. Actually, no, I don't think so.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord, will you buy me a Mercedes Benz? But what I do want to play, because obviously this ties me with that topic. Oh, wait, Andrew's coming on. Yes.
What is that topic?
Cultural
Appropriation.
appropriation. Yeah. I'm gonna play something first. Yo, Andrew, what are you saying, man?
What you saying, bro?
Always
Yo,
a
Andrew,
pleasure.
how you doing, man?
Always a
I'm
pleasure.
good, you know. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm surprised you're smiling, though.
Don't start.
Always nice.
You know what's so good? You know what it is? It's because he's wearing the topic reminding me. I actually watched it on YouTube, and one guy was just for the last 20 minutes of the game, all he was doing was effing and blinding about Arsenal.
Yeah, that was Arsenal fan TV, isn't it?
Yeah, mate, I've got to be honest. It's like these. I know it's not a football show, but let's talk about this for a minute.
Okay.
Why is it that there's almost arrogance about people are arrogant about their teams, aren't they? They say, yeah, we should beat the likes of. We should almost like these other teams should just turn up and say, oh, your name is. Therefore, we're going to play at half speed today and not put any effort in. Yeah. And this guy was losing his mind yesterday, mate. He was effing and blinding and effing and blinding, and he had his hands in his hair, his head in his hand, and he was. Mate, I thought his wife had left him the way he's carrying on. In fact, I think if his wife left him, he wouldn't have even carried on that way.
It wouldn't be as bad as it. It wouldn't be as bad.
You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I was gutted because Villa lost. We got done out of the penalty by VAR. VAR doesn't like Villa. I think it's because it begins with a V. Villa, VAR, Villa. Yeah, you know what I mean. Don't like us. But
imply favoritism.
I ain't gonna. There was a time. I'll be honest. When I was young, ruin my weekend, ruin my Saturday night. But mate, I'm not making it ruin. Not mate. It's just a pigskin. If put it this way, right? If every time them guys won, I got paid, then I'd be crying.
Can I just put him there? Nigel? I think the reason why people react the way they react towards their team, and they can't really like look at the processes where their teams are at, is because they've got like things going on at home. There's things going on at home. There's things going on in life, and football is the only release to take it out on. Yeah. So you're
I hear you on that.
So you're backing on, your team winning to give you that little mental stability.
Give you that little lift.
Yeah,
but isn't that a wider problem then? The fact that thousands of men across the country can't on a Saturday. That Saturday will determine how they function for the rest of Sunday and up until the next Saturday. I feel sorry for the guy's wife, mate, because if he's that
Nigel
on TV.
Nigel, I'm actually a football coach and I've got a football team. And when we lose, the missus gets it. The kids get it.
Yeah. Mate, you know something? Mate, you know something? I miss playing myself because the passion, kicking that pigskin around, you can't beat it. But yeah, man, this guy was like, but I think it's more, teams aren't going to just turn up and roll over now. It's the same when Liverpool supporters talk about Liverpool. We shouldn't have lost to them, because, it's not the Liverpool way. I used to hate Steven Gerrard's interviews because every time he spoke was like, how dare this team come here and try and play against us and beat us? You know what I mean? Because it's like, no, man, this is the Premiership. It's the best league in the world. Everyone's there to get beat up, including my team, man. So,
yeah, but it's even worse now that the fans are not there. Because when the fans were there, you get the lift from the...
Arteta's lucky they ain't there.
Yeah, but listen, he's lucky they ain't there, man, because he'd be getting it about now. Seriously, getting it, man. Do you think... He's lost about 80% of the fans already, bro.
Do you think that if the fans were in the stadium, the results would be different?
Yeah,
so I asked that question.
At home, yeah. Because we've lost twice at home in a row. We seem to play better away from home, but at home we've lost against Villa, and then we just got bust by Wolves. So,
but we've lost 3 at home as well.
It is Villa.
Yeah. Listen here, rude boy. Don't say our team's name and then laugh afterwards. You just say that. And
talk about Villa, man. You ain't Arsenal. You ain't quite Arsenal.
We're hiving you at the moment. So chill your beans.
Anyway, boys. You're lucky you got me on. It's actually my anniversary, my missus today. So, she's effing and blinded about this podcast. But I say, you know what? We've got to represent, man. So,
yeah. How long have you been married, man?
No, we've been together a year now. It's our first year.
It's the first year, and you're on a podcast. Mate, you deserve to get cussed.
Tell him again.
You should be whining, dining. Where's the candles, man? I ain't no candles burning. Oh, my God.
I'm going to stick up for Andrew here. I appreciate having him here. I appreciate that you took the time out to help us grow.
Sorry, that was a year in. I know better, man. I'm older than you, though, so I've been there and I've made those mistakes, brother.
Hey, I'm the same as you, though, Andrew, man. I'll be celebrating my wedding anniversary and I'll be like, sack this. I'm going out with the boys. Sack this. I'm going out with the boys.
I think getting married is different. Your first wedding anniversary is different.
Yeah,
I don't know. Whose house are you at, mate? Your house or her house?
We live together.
Okay.
So safe.
You're cooking after this, then I take it.
Already, mate.
What? Yeah. I ain't not invite me around for no food, lad. Why this guy terrible? You know when? Where you find him?
I don't know, man.
I cooked. I cooked. Me cook.
Yeah.
I know, man. You know something? That's what I'm saying. Like, we never invite me around or said, mate, there's taxi. You never heard of Uber.
Uber Eats.
Send it along.
Saying that. Andrew, before we go into this, do you remember that story you was going to tell last week? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Remember it?
Yeah, I remember it very clearly, man. I remember that, I grew up in a white area. Spevik was white at that time.
Yeah.
Went to a school that was virtually all white. I was like the only black person in the class. And I didn't really, because of my childhood and me growing up, my mum weren't really, how could I put it? She weren't really connected to, building me up as a man. And my dad weren't around. And there was a lot of trauma going on. So for me personally, not being given the ammunition to be proud to be who you are in your own skin had a major effect on me growing up. Yeah. Like, for instance, I hanged about with a group of white friends, and they knew who I was, but I didn't know who I was. I thought I was one of them, but I weren't one of them because of the way they treated me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. And it was like everywhere.
Andrew, how old are you, man? Sorry to ask how old you are, but how old are you? How old?
39.
Smith, did you go up where it was all white?
Oh, Smithwick. Yeah, listen, you got different parts. You got Women Lane, which is predominantly black, and then you got Concrete Jungle, which is predominantly black as well. I when I was living with my nan, my great grandmother, shall I say, I grew up on Concrete Jungle, but then she left Concrete Jungle and went into the middle of Smithwick, by where Pinnock Road Police Station is. You know where that is? Pinnock Road.
I used to live around the corner from there, man.
Yeah. So you have this big massive estate opposite Pinnock Road. My great grand lived on that estate, and I grew up on that estate. But when I lived with my mum, when I was about say 7+, I moved deeper into Smithwick. You get what I'm trying to say, towards that.
So what school did you go to then?
You ever heard of a school called Uplands?
Not Uplands.
Yeah, I went there. That's where I went.
Okay, because man, I'm surprised actually, because like Smithwick's always been full of colour when I've been there. I mean, man.
Didn't the Labour guy say if you wanna end working as a neighbour?
No, that was conservative. That was conservative. He said that.
So
but
he
said,
It was definitely racist back then.
Enoch Powell went there. I think Malcolm X even went to Smethwick in the 60s. Smethwick was a war zone for black people, but they made a stand. Mandela. They made a stand, and the rest of they say is history, man. But Andrew. So
I can only go from my history and what I walked in. I can't go for your history or anyone else's. I can only go from what I walked into. You know what I mean? And for me personally, I never really, there weren't really no black people around me. There was, obviously I had family that lived in the area. And then there was the Lees that were lived further up from me. That there was a black family as well, big family, but there was further up that way. You get what I'm trying to say? And it was just like, it was weird. It was just weird. Like if you was a black man, and you had balls of steel, you'd be worshipped around there. I remember there was a black guy called Derek Johnson, man. I actually know his kids and so on and so forth. And Derek used to roll with the white man, but Derek was a knocker. Derek would knock out them Ross, and they worship Derek. They still do till this day. They worship Derek. Derek Johnson, he's my mate. He is, yeah.
That old badge of honor.
Seriously, bro, that was it. But if you didn't really know who you were as a person, or you didn't really have any identity, or you didn't know what your identity was, you was easily picked on, and that was me. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm sure there's a lot of black people out there that have that kind of story, that when they was growing up, they didn't know who they were as a man, who they were as a black man, as a black boy. They didn't know who they were, and they kind of tried to get acceptance from the white race, and the white race said, yeah, you come in here with your little self like that. Oh, no ego. Oh, yeah, a bit of a softie. Oh, we'll take the piss out of you. Mm. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's what it was. But, when you go into a man, it's a different thing then, because you understand who you are as a black man. You understand the history. You understand the segregation, the slavery, the history, the persecution. You understand all these things then. And then, you come to your own, and then you've got the balls of steel. You know what I mean? But being a child, it's always important for parents to, install into their kids who they are as a black woman or as a black man. And that's one thing that I do to my daughter all the time. My daughter, I always say to them, you are different, you are special. You understand me? Nobody tell you that you're not. You're a jewel of God. You get what I'm trying to say? And you have to kind of speak into their life and make them know who they are, and make them know history as well. Always talk to them, tell them stories and things like that. Make them know who they are, because that is the key to their success. They need to know that they're not up there, that they're down here, that they need to strive to get up to there. But really, you're up there, but they've put you down here. You know what I'm trying to say? It's really important that we do that as parents, and it's a never-ending encouragement that you have to give to your children.
Yeah, sure, man. Sure. I see that, because remember we spoke about this last week about the whole topic was Like how you said that you felt like you was white when you was young, and I said, yeah, I felt like that too. And I spoke to several people since then.
Yeah.
Actually, Nigel's the only person who said he's never felt like he was white. But I don't know. See, the jury's still out on that one still. But
don't even try. Listen, right? I keep
Hey,
telling
look
you
at
about
me.
generalize.
This
I
guy-
keep telling
this-
you, right? Don't generalize me. Don't put me in a box.
You know what?
Don't put me in a box.
But then again, saying that, I do know that, like, for example, I'm not sure. Do Indian people ever feel like they want to be white, do you think? Or
Hell no.
Chinese people?
Hell no.
Yeah, because
Hell no.
they're
Mate,
built up in
listen,
their culture,
right?
innit?
When it comes to follow fashion, I remember watching a show. It's about the Indian culture, and it showed these Indian girls, and they spoke disparagingly about black people, which I didn't like anyway. But their whole industry is geared up on white. How can a white girl from Liverpool go to India and be a Bollywood star?
No.
Easy, because that as well. That's another thing as well. I wanna, kind of link in with you there as well. They love, a light skinned Asian girl. India man love it.
Like white better.
The light skinned Asian girls, the light skinned.
I know that. It's based.
Are you Indian? Or have you got something in you or something else in you?
It's actually based. It's actually based on an old history where if you were dark skinned,
of course it is.
You worked outside.
But
the whole, as I said, how can yes, Indians most certainly, I would think some of them, like some black people, like some white people who want to be black. You've had cases of people who have lied throughout their careers, women who have said, "Yeah, I'm black," and then it's been found out that they ain't black. So, it's I'm not saying that fair. If that's how you guys felt, that's how you guys felt. I can't change that, but I know myself. I've always been proud of my melanin.
I'm sure if you did some soul searching, you would have found the time when you was like, we're never gonna go on this again. Carry on, Andrew.
But what you have to understand, is that you've probably had help from your parents in discovering your identity. You know what I mean? Where there's people out there that their parents are probably going through certain things, and Nigel, he's always the case with Afro-Caribbean people with relationships and this, that, and the other. Maybe parents haven't got the time to let their children know who they are because they're still trying to find out who they are.
Yeah, and that was definitely the case in my family.
Definitely the case in mine, and that this needs to come first. Otherwise, your child will be out there trying to strive for things that don't concern them, where it should be home first, where they strive for.
Yeah.
Even before school, should we say?
That's true. That's what I try and do to instill in my daughters as well, because I know I see my daughter, it's happening with her at the moment. She really wants to. She and this is what we're going to talk about today. She associates at least more with her white side, although I can see that she's been prosecuted because she's black, and I'm like,
it's hard. It's hard,
especially with little kids.
I feel it for you in Germany because
Germany's worse, and I live in the area. Trust me, I live in the ends,
man.
Yeah,
Germany.
I live in.
I would always say, one of the blessings that I've had, is that my daughter's come back into my life now for the past 9 months. She's 10 years old now. Her mum's mixed race. I'm black, so she's 3/4 black. So she's a black girl, basically. Yeah. 110%. And one of the blessings that I've been able to do over this lockdown is take her to another play scheme. She normally would go to a play scheme down by Wally where there'd been pure white people. But the last 6 weeks holidays and half term that just came about say 3-4 weeks ago. She's been at that play scheme with black people, and it's been good because she's been able to express herself, to know herself. You get what I'm trying to say, and to know that she's a black girl. You know what I mean, and that that you're different from white people, because white people are going to look at you differently. Now, if white people didn't look at black people so differently and didn't, they weren't the way they were, then it'd be different. You still there?
You done, Wayne?
What you done, Wayne? Nigel, you still there?
I'm still here.
Yeah. We'll
press
just carry
some,
on.
He's trying to do some kind of screen sharing, but
yeah.
Just...
So yeah, what's your thoughts on that?
You could have at least warned us, mate.
So what's your thoughts on that, Nigel?
Yeah, you know something, man. You gotta look, man. The world that we're in right now is designed to lead people, not guide them, but lead them. So they follow fashion. If they're young, they follow fashion. If they don't follow fashion, then their peer group tell them, say that there's something wrong with them. I think your daughter having a chance to play with other kids of different colours is good, because there's certain kids in this country who will never experience a black person in all of their life or until they go to university. So and it is about that understanding. Black people are different. Black people are different. We're more energetic. We've got more energy. We're more boisterous. We're more extrovert. We've just got this whole DNA, which is when you see a black guy who's not loud, you normally say, "What's wrong with him?" you know what I mean? Because we banter, we laugh. That is us.
That's you, though.
DNA. That's you,
Nigel.
Yeah, but that's okay. When you're sat in a room with your friends, do you sit there quiet and go, or do you banter and laugh and joke and that with your?
I think everybody, but I think you're extra though. I think you'll be the loudest person in the room.
Have you met my sister? Have you met my sister Vanessa?
No.
We're all loud though, any kind of. We're all kind of loud still.
That's what I'm saying, man. Wait, how come you're upside down?
But then again,
let's say that.
Yo, what's going on? Yeah, I had to. My computer actually just locked me off, man. Can you see me? Sorry, man. My computer locked me off, man. It gave me the blue screen of death. Actually, I can show you. Hold on, look at this. The blue screen of death. So I've had to go onto my backup device, and because I actually wanted to show you guys something, but now my computer's locked off, man. I have to try and get onto it.
You tried to do a screen share, didn't you?
Yeah, I wanted to show you guys something, but then the computer just locked off, man.
I told you about these technical gremlins, man. You're supposed to set all this up first before you even start.
I did set it up, but the thing is, if my computer decides, at this moment I ain't having it, then that's just my computer.
Has your computer been turned off today?
Nah, actually it hasn't been turned off for a while still.
Yeah, you've yammed that order, you ram, mate. That's what you've done.
That's probably it.
Wait, why don't you just explain it to us?
I wanted to talk about cultural appropriation. I actually had all my notes up on the screen. So basically, cultural appropriation is like, for example, you got a white person who tries to adopt black people's culture, and pass it off as their own. Also known as like culture vultures, pretty much the same thing, where like they'd get like people doing like white people doing black music, for example.
What's black music?
Yeah, that's what I said, and that's what I was saying. Like, Nigel's like, what's black music? But I'm like, okay, you go back 400 years and go and do slave. Don't do slave, guys.
No, man, no. Don't even start with the 400 years.
Okay, I don't even have to go that far. Let me say something. Yeah, I'll give you some education now. What happened was a long time ago we had like white people know Vultures. Their classical music and this stuff. Black people introduced white people to the drums. White people weren't playing the drums before they met black people. Black people were always known for their drums and the rhythm. And forget this whole dances in our blood. Because let's not forget, white people are kind of, in a sense, Africans too, but for some reason they detach themselves from us. So they forgot all their heritage. So I guess today there's that modern term, cultural appropriation, where you got white people or even Asian people. You've seen them, man, walking down the street, Indians, or even like if you look at stuff, best.
Mate, the thing is, right, if you go to any part of the world, so we went to Bali for our honeymoon, and we went on one of these fishing trips, and the guy put on his music, and this heavy beat comes on. I'm like, bro, this tune's heavy, man. Then the guy starts rapping in Balinese. Now, you know, for me, it's like, well, rapping, is that black music? The beat itself was more hip hop than anything else.
Yeah.
I think music transcends it now, man. I can't. I think if you were talking like back in the 50s, maybe, where there was a clear, definitive line, and you're right. There's been a lot of crossover. A lot of music that black people dance and everything else has crossed over because people have thought, "Whoa, that's great, man. We want to incorporate that." But I think music transcends. Music transcends it.
Elvis did it. Elvis did it.
Elvis did it.
Elvis was the first man to do it. He was the first man to do
it. He probably weren't, but the thing is, for every Elvis, there's 1,000, 10,000 artists who never made it big. Who, you know what I mean?
The thing is, there's a lot of classic cases where there was a, like, for example, I think it was someone like Elvis or something. There was a black woman, really, I can't remember her name, famous like blues player. And obviously these guys took all the music. I don't know, it could have been Elvis.
Are we talking facts here, though, or are you just kind of just...
No, these are facts, man. These are facts.
Are you trying
I'm going to find out. As soon as my computer comes up, as soon as the recording comes up, I'm going to...
I mean, I suppose... Okay, so what... Okay, go back to the question. So what is it you said now? What about misappropriation?
Hold on, my computer now. So basically, it's like, for example, someone taking a black, like blues, someone taking blues music and saying, okay, like I remember one guy, actually not even going to start with blues, I'm going to talk hip hop. I remember seeing one guy in Germany and he was telling me that hip hop was invented in Germany. I was like, hold on a second. No. So then I wondered who came and gave this guy the idea that hip hop was even created in a place like Germany. You know what I mean? I'm not credit, all respect to due. Germans can make good hip hop music. All due respect, but they did not start it. You know what I mean? Actually, hip hop descends from...
I suppose in 2020, when we're going through COVID and everything else, is like, and I'm going to be really just like cynical here and say, so what? Music's about money. Whether it sounds black, sounds Indian, sounds Chinese. You know, you've had black artists who've taken Bhangra beats and made music and made money. You've had Indian artists take ragga beats and made money. It's like...
Yeah, but we're not the main benefactors. Like, look, for example, there was a little... I remember
Well, the thing is, though, we are. It's just that me and you aren't. But who's Jay-Z? Who's Puff Daddy?
Yeah, but look, this is what I'm saying. And this is what I'm alluding to. Look, today, remember, you had Jay-Z, you had, like, the Wu-Tang Clan, you have all these big guys. No, but right now, who's dominating all the... Like, for example, you got, like, American... like white American rappers, all the guys who make soul now, white American. Adele, what do you think Adele did? Adele's a classic case. Ed Sheeran, these are classic people who've taken black music.
What you got to remember is they've okay, it's like you growing up in a house where all you hear every day is classical music and then you decide to compose classical music. Your environment dictates what you bring. The fact that she was culturally enhanced by hearing different music, which has allowed her to bring her style to an audience of millions. How many people listen to Adele who thought, oh, let me go listen to some Rihanna now because I quite like that beat? You know,
none. None. Shall I tell you why? Because I can guarantee you. Look, what I'm saying. Why I think this is dangerous. I feel like, yeah, but listen. Why I think this is dangerous because I feel like in 20 to 30 years, you no longer have the black people getting the chances. They'll just say, "Why get a black person when we can have a white person?" And even though, look, if you look at something like X Factor,
Jesus Christ.
If you look at something like X Factor, or these shows, you see,
hey,
look.
Okay. What happens in the African country when they have X Factor?
I'm not talking about African country. I'm talking about Europe.
No. But the thing is,
and even in Africa, I'm pretty sure that in Africa at some point.
I need to counterpunch you. Right? I'm going to look about what's going on in England right about now, right? And how the music scene has moved in England, yeah? Back in the day, we had Jungle. Remember when Jungle first came out? Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, man. And then you had drum and bass, and then it moved on to garage. And then we had garage, and then it moved on to funky house. Then from funky house, it went to bassline. And then from bassline, it went to back to like a funky house kind of thing. And now the funky house, we now have the Afro beats and the Afro things coming on. Listen, I'm telling you right now, music has gone back. Black music has gone back to the roots, and you can't recreate, because there's something in us that we know about rhythm, we know about bass, we know about singing. We got it all. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So,
beats, man.
So you turning around and saying that, there's going to be a time when they're going to steal our ideas, and no, not at all, because music is universal. It's universal. You know what I mean?
Saying it transcends, man. All that now.
Every human being has got the gift. If you love music, and you love it to the max, you can make music your music, and it's not about race. It's about the individual.
Exactly, Wayne. I know within your catalogue of tunes that you've made, there'll be tunes in there that if you didn't put your name to it, someone could say, "Oh, that sounds like a white tune or a pop tune." Are you misappropriating culture to do that?
No. I'm saying that every artist.
No, I'm on about Wayne. Because he's got about 2,000 tunes that he's made himself. So I know within those 2,000 tunes, there's going to be one or two tunes that you can say, "Oh, is this Bruss or Wham?"
They were good in
he's gone again, He's got, there he is.
I'm there.
Or Wham? You know what I mean? It's like
they were good in their time. At the end of the day, it's not about race; it's about the individual. But you get the influence from your culture.
Music gets. I'll tell you what, music.
But look. Let me explain.
You can hang your hat on music and say, leave music out of it, because music transcends, mate. Music can change a room. Music can change a mood. It can change a bloody nation. Look at what Bob Marley used to do when he used to go around the world and play. People who probably hated black people used to sway and everything's gonna be all right. Music's too powerful to be owned by anybody.
They loved him. They love Bob Marley. He brought people
to this day.
Let's get together and feel all right. What do you say? One love.
What I want to add. What I want to add is what's your argument for rock and roll then, which started off as a black black music genre, and then ended up with just white eyes.
But
I don't care. I don't listen to rock and roll.
Back then, there was a big divide. Do you understand me? They would steal things because they control the airwaves. They control the radios. Do you understand me? Just like they do now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? But at the end of the day, thank God for, man like Ray Charles, man like women like Tina Turner, Aretha Franklin, all them artists there that own their music. They own their music and they came through. They paved the way. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So, I don't care what anyone says. Back in the day, white people loved Ray Charles. They loved him. They loved him.
But like I said, what stops them from saying, okay, you know what? And obviously, I'm just playing devil's advocate now. What stops them from saying, okay, we can find a white equivalent to Ray Charles, and then we don't have to give another Ray Charles a chance?
They did anyway, didn't they? That's what they was trying to do. That's what they've been doing anyway. They always tried to find the equivalent.
But what God bless
for money, the audience.
But what God bless, no man can't curse. It's simple as that.
Okay, like I said, to me, what I think is a difficult thing is that obviously when they do it, they don't pass on the credit. And the thing is, we're lucky to have people who are still alive who can attest to, that was actually started by a black person. Because if it wasn't for that, like they've been smashing up our history for years and taking it away and deleting it. I'm thinking, that's why I say in 30 years' time, it will be easy for them just to say, actually, there was no black people who did that, man. It was
somebody else. When you can say that what you want, they've been trying to do that from day dots, and all that's done is include us even more. You understand what I'm trying to say? You look at okay, for instance, yeah, a lot of white people are kicking off now because there's a lot of black people on TV that don't like it. You know, there's a lot of black. So I heard about the Sainsbury advert the other day that was kicking off about the Christmas Sainsbury advert because it was a black family. You know what I'm trying to say? So what you have to understand right now, yeah, is that things are changing. We can't think that things are the way they were 20, 30 years ago because they're not. You understand me? There's a lot of black personalities out there. You look at Lewis Hamilton, you know, being the number one F1 driver ever. That's a big, massive statement. Do they like it? No. But does he have a voice? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you understand me? So there's a minority that don't like it, but a majority are accepting the way we are accepting us as a people. And that's where we need to be thinking right about now and not be thinking negative. I don't know what it's like in Germany. I know Germany's, you know, backwards, but over here,
yeah, in the UK, I think we have different, like I would say Germany and England. I think England, which is fortunate, actually, I want to say that is someone wrote, actually, it was the guy we had on, remember who was that guy we had on the podcast the other day, the business guy who taught you how to do stuff, Nigel? What was his name again? Nigel?
Oh, I'm here, man. Which guy?
What was the one who looks like me? You said he looks like me.
Oh, Sam Day.
Yeah, he wrote a post about being pulled over by the cops because he's just brought a new car. I don't know if you saw that post. That's something that doesn't really happen in Germany because this stigmata about the black people being the bad people never really made its way to Germany. So me, I've got a pretty fairly new car, but the police don't even think twice about.
And you know why? Let me tell you why. Yeah, because there was never, because you have to understand, let's go back, 40 years. Let's go back 40, 50 years ago when you had Windrush and all the black people came over here to help build back up the country. Yeah. All the black people came over here to help, you know, establish and sanitize and so, not even sanitize and all that, but build back up the country. Let's put it there. Yeah. They then had kids. And then there was other kids, and you know, you had second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and there was a lot of racism going on at that time because there was a lot of black people over England. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So there was racial fights, and all them kind of things were going on. And then you move forward on, you know, about say 20 years ago, where you had all gangs in different postcodes, you know, man fighting man, this, that, and the other. So if you look about, you know, how we've come along, it's not been really positive, has it? Because of all the things that's overcome. But in Germany, they've never been any of that. I mean, the only time you see a black person in Germany, if he was, you know, a successful man, or if he was a footballer or something like that.
Right, I'm gonna just have to stop you there. Right, so basically, I'm assuming you've been to Germany. Right. So in terms of racism, Germany has always had problems with racism. Their black people are the Turks, the Turkish. The Turkish are the ones who predominantly lived in the slums, the ghettos, everything else. They're the ones who get it from the police because for some reason, Germany had a relationship with Turkey. Obviously, they used to go Ottoman Empire and all that.
After the war.
The reason that the UK had Windrush is because the UK, England, basically, Jamaica was part of the Commonwealth and was part of England. So when England needed some help, they thought, well, our men are too lazy. They'll send for them black people and see if they'll help us instead. So, hey, yo.
Hey.
Tonya. So, that's what happened. But every country's got racism, man. It doesn't matter what country you're in. Every country, whether it's China, you got Chinese people who hate Chinese people. You got Pakistani people who hate Pakistani people. You got Indian people who hate Indian people. Look at Nigeria. Look at that massacre that's just happened in Nigeria. No one said nothing about that. What are you saying about that?
I'm gonna check. You know, actually, I think did I post something?
The farm workers killed in an insane Nigeria attack, killed by their own people. You know, their own kin. You know, we're sitting here moaning about white man is, white man that. What's going on in the world, man? Not making noise about that. How come we're not making noise about that?
But Nigel, you know black people are cursed already, innit?
Look, man, I'm not even going down that road of cursing everything. A man has got his own mind. A man has got his own mind. A man has got his own mind. The only thing that confuses the man, I'll tell you what confuses the man: religion. Because the people who killed these farmers are Boko Haram, which is Muslim, and they've killed these people because they were Christian. So but they're all black. They're all black.
I don't know if I agree with you on that, because the odds are stacked against. If you have a darker skin color, the odds are stacked against you somewhat. So even if you got your own mind,
you're talking about if you're in Europe. I'm talking about they're in Nigeria. They're not in Germany.
In Nigeria. I don't actually. Tonya, you know something about that, and you got a friend who lives there in Nigeria.
Yes, she does.
What did she say?
What she had told me was that it was just what the news was saying. It was not. It was like overblown. I won't say overblown, but she said it was just a massacre. She said that it was a lot that it was a lot that was happening that the news didn't really talk about either.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that they didn't talk about. And she said that's sometimes where, with us and our news, we never got it. If it had been for her, I would have never known until I saw it.
Exactly. We're these things, and this is the thing, right? They were killed by Boko Haram and the Islamic State West Africa insurgent groups. Now, this is religion that split people from their colour. This is religion which has taken them from thinking the same person as me. I'm going to kill them.
I'm going to punch right now. I'm going to counter punch. This is Islam.
Man, don't even blame Islam. Don't even blame Islam.
You know what? We're not going to listen. We're not going to.
Don't blame Islam. It's religion.
This is Islam.
The thing is, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's got nothing to do with if it's Islam or Christianity or anyone's more.
Yeah, I don't know. She didn't say anything about the.
It's not to do with religion.
No. The thing is, it was done by the Islamic insurgents. So what are they?
But it sounds like it's more of a.
It's always them. 110%.
It sounds to me like a human problem more than anything. It's not a problem with religion. It's a human problem, and the fact that people do not like people.
I would say both. I would say both.
I would say both.
100%.
The thing is, what gives one person who thinks he's above everybody else because of his religion the right to kill?
But what you have to understand, is they followed their prophet, and their prophet went on crusades where they took over countries. So you talk about the whole of North Africa being taken over back in history. You know what I mean? And people being given and saying, "Yo, you're Muslim," and that's saying if you're not going to be a Muslim, we're going to kill you.
Right. That's what the Christians did as well, mate.
That's what the white man did.
That's what the Christians did.
That's what the white man did.
To the native Africans, who they said, if you don't follow our religion, then we're going to kill you. So that our religion wasn't their religion.
Well, I can counterpunch that again and say, well, Christ didn't behave like that. Christ didn't behave like that. And in order to be a Christian, you're supposed to be Christ-like. So if Christ weren't going around killing people, in fact, he never killed a person, then you
Didn't Muhammad say the same thing though? Muhammad said you shouldn't kill people. Like I said, Muhammad said you shouldn't kill people. And a lot of the Muslim faith.
Okay, listen. No. The thing is, what I'm saying is though, in terms of what has divided man, what has divided black people in Africa, it's religion brought into Africa, which didn't start in Africa and has been used to split Africans up from the fact that they're all the same. No matter what country they go to, they'll get the same stick. But then he'll kill him because he worships a different god. So religion.
But it's mainly Nigel. It's mainly the Muslims that are killing anybody. Yeah,
mate. It was Christians back in the 17th and 18th and 16th and 15th century.
He was the white man. He was the white man. If you look at history, things have never changed. The thing is, though, right? You're saying it's the white man, which is fine.
religion are Christians following?
Pardon?
Whose religion is Christianity?
What?
The modern form of Christianity. Who devised it?
Listen,
Who
when
wrote the books?
we look,
Who rewrote the Bible?
when we go deep into the crystal balls, that the white man has nothing to do with the Bible. If you know,
I stand corrected. Sorry, I just want to say I stand corrected. Actually, the Prophet Muhammad apparently sanctioned a lot of killing, man, and it's kind of weird. He didn't actually personally kill anybody, but he was definitely all right with it. I stand corrected on that. I didn't know that. So.
Nigel, I'm going to open up your eyes, yeah? That prophet, yeah, the 9-year-old child had sex with her. And that's why.
I already knew that. I already knew that. The thing is,
let me finish, Nigel. By the culture of these people continuously love children. The men love children, and they think it's acceptable to molest a child.
Okay, so there's parts of Africa where the same thing goes on.
No.
Where they will prey on young girls.
And it was like, no.
All over the world, mate. Happens in Jamaica, happens in China, happens in Japan. You know what I mean? That to me is like, religion. That's what I'm saying. It's religion. That's what splits.
When you got them people preaching about it and saying that, yo, it's okay, then it's a culture.
I'm looking at history, and I'm looking at where the splits have appeared, and the splits have always appeared where people have forced their religion on other people.
But always going to be Islam, and that's what they do till this day.
I don't care if it's Islam or whatever. I don't care. They're all the same.
They till this day. They do till this day, bro. I've seen it.
I don't know. I think to be fair, we have to probably. We're not qualified to talk about it. To be fair, well, you're probably qualified to talk about the Bible, but definitely Islam. None of us are qualified enough.
No, man, we ain't. But what I'm saying is, when you look at what split has split people from each other, it's been religion.
Well, there's definitely the case for a holy war coming in the future because of
as well, Nigel, not just religion, but different colours.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, but that's what I'm saying. They've used religion in Africa to split the same colour people up from each other.
Yeah, that's definitely a fact.
But like I said, started in Africa, but has been brought to Africa and has split the African people up from each other, so that they're killing each other with impunity and not caring that it's black killing black. Religion.
Like I said, so yeah, this thing in Nigeria, anyway, man. It doesn't matter how it started. What's that?
So I'm not arguing, Nigel. Talk the team.
It's okay. Anyway, this thing in yeah.
And wait, remember Boko Haram? Remember Boko Haram? That's
it, isn't it? The faction of Boko Haram, yeah.
All them girls, they kidnapped some of them girls.
Yeah.
And because in their religion, I do know that, if you go into another land and you are allowed to rape the women and the children and defile them because they're not Muslim, if they turn away from Islam. So they was using their little war-mongering kind of things just to do what they was doing. You get me?
Oh, I hear all that. But like I say, you go back in time.
The thing
you look at what split people down the middle, and it's religion every single time.
It's happening till this day.
Can I read this Can I read this section here? It says the residents. I'm still talking about Nigeria here and Boko Haram. Obviously, residents didn't identify the faction of Boko Haram that attacked them, but they said the fighters accused them of cooperating with the Nigerian army. Zabamari is in northern eastern Borno, where ISWAP, which is the Islamic State West African Province, is active. So the ISWAP is the likely culprit. ISWAP killed those it accused of spying. So I guess it is some sort of faction, militant faction, who's doing the problems.
Islam is at the...
I mean, yeah, it's definitely something to do with but the thing is, what's happening with the Islam is you got the very peaceful guys.
Hold on, bro. If you look at the history of Sudan, yeah. Now, what you have to understand, the history of Sudan, yeah, all the Arabs came to North Africa and they took over all North Africa, and then when they went down into North Sudan, yeah, they started interbreeding with the Sudanese people, which were black. If you look at a Sudanese person, they look different, man. They're mixed with Arab and black. They're mixed up, man, and you can see it in them. And there was a massive divide happening there, where there was, if you look at the history of Sudan, there's been a history of war where the Muslims were killing Christians to the point, yeah, where they had to have South and North Sudan, and it's like a separate kind of country, North and South. And I think that the Christians live down in the South and the Muslims live in the North. But there's been, horrendous things happening there. And you need to look that up, Nigel.
Oh, you know about it. Religion.
Look, you know what?
Religion.
I tell you what. You know what's really sad about this? I tell you what's really sad. The Muslim Islamic religion was started in Africa, and that's what's really sad. So it was started by black people.
No, it wasn't.
Definitely.
No, it was not. No, it was not. That's a lie.
Okay, where did it start? Where did it start?
In Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia? No, man. No, dude.
Listen to me, bro. Listen to me, bro. Listen.
It did start in Saudi Arabia.
You telling me that Muhammad was an African? Is that what you're trying to say?
Muhammad is an African name, isn't Muhammad? Look, when the Africans left Africa, let me explain over here. When the Africans left Africa, where the Africans first stopped was when they left Africa, the Middle East. That was the first Africans that went to the Middle East.
Okay. I want somebody, to go on the computer and find.
It's in Saudi Arabia, Mecca.
That's where you go and do your pilgrimage. Is that the home of the?
That's where it started. Islam started in Mecca, in modern day Saudi Arabia, during the time of the Prophet Muhammad's life. Saudi Arabia. Mate, I've just sat here and told you that they brought these religions to Africa, and then you turn around and say it was started in Africa.
No, the thing is, it started in Africa. No, it started in Africa, left Africa, and came back to Africa to different guys. But then, so did Christianity. Christianity comes from the Torah, the Tarot, which is the Torah, which is the Jewish book.
Wayne, listen. One man started Islam, and that was Muhammad. He started it. Not no black man. An Arabian started. Yeah. An Arabian started Islam.
Tonya, man.
You know what? I swear, guys. This is gonna. You know what?
Sorry,
we're gonna trace it back. We're gonna trace it back because I know. Well, from my teaching is that I'm not sure if
listen,
its original guys.
I don't know who told you all that, yeah. But whoever told you all that is not no teacher. They're a liar. Yeah. What
no.
Before Islam, yeah, in Saudi Arabia there was paganism and it was strife. You understand me? They followed the Persian and the Persian gods. That's what they did. Muhammad came and said, no, it don't go so, and he created this new thing. Okay?
No.
And by the way, that was 500 years after Christ has been ascended to 500 years after. Okay?
You know what we're gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do for next week? You started me off now. You know me, I'm always gonna prove, always gonna win the argument. This week I concede. I'm gonna do a Donald Trump. I'm gonna concede. Watch, I'm gonna concede because I've actually come across my teachings saying that I don't know if it's Islam in the guise it is now. I don't know if it's the way it looks now, but at some point it started off in Africa.
What you've got to understand, right, and this cuts across all your religions anyway, is that these are just teachings written by men. Anyone who sits there and says, oh yeah, these are the words of God or whatever. No, they're not. God didn't sit down at no typewriter and write nothing. These are men's interpretations. You say to your next door neighbor, you've won the lottery and you've won 12 grand. By the time it gets down the bottom of the road, you've won £40,000. You bought a brand new car. Chinese whispers, interpretations. Remember, the language that the original Bible was written in doesn't even exist anymore. So how do they know what king means in American, all these things? So,
you know what? But then saying that though.
Mate. Unless you can break into the Catholic, unless you can break into the Vatican and the cellars and go and read those ancient real texts.
I want to add something to that.
It's all about control. Go on.
Who says the first Arabians weren't African though?
Because they was in Arabia.
Yep. No, that's not true, dude. I just finished reading the book.
Based on the plates moving over thousands of years, maybe.
I've just finished the book, learned about the history of Africa and Africans, and believe me, they left Africa to go up, and the first places they made it to was what you would call the Arabic or the Middle East. That was the first place they went to. Obviously, if you look at it, Africa's connected straight to the Middle East, and it's connected straight to Saudi Arabia and Oman and all these places.
But that doesn't make your point proven that they started Islam, because Islam weren't there until Muhammad.
How do you know that Muhammad wasn't an African?
Muhammad was not an African.
Muhammad was a Rastafarian, mate.
What color would he have been back then, though? We all dispute that Jesus was not the color that everyone says he is. So why do you think Muhammad would be a European?
Was born in Saudi Arabia. It's been written.
Yeah, but the first Saudi Arabia. Have you ever been to Dubai or Oman? Have you ever been to Oman and Dubai?
I've been to Dubai.
Have you seen how dark those people are? They're dark, yo. They're darker than me. They're
African though.
I'm gonna counterpunch you.
We're all African.
Right now.
There we are.
I'm gonna counterpunch you right now. Yeah. I want you to listen. Yeah.
I'm listening.
What they used to do back in the day to African people, when they started doing the Arab Spring, they used to castrate the black man, right?
Right.
And they used to have black women as concubines, right? And it's written, look it up. Muhammad had black slaves. Yeah. Now you're telling me, right, that this Arabian and this is fact, because Arabs look at black men as down there. They don't look as a black man equal to them. We're not equal to them. Yeah. Okay, you can join our gang. That's okay. That's cool. That's what we want. But you're not equal to us. Us Arabs, are the first. We're the chosen ones. That's how they look at themselves. So don't be trying to put Islam and black people in the same content, because it just don't mix.
Yeah, but then you would say that we got more.
But the thing is, though, it does, because a bunch of them just killed a bunch of farmers in bloody Nigeria.
Yo, this geezer. What I'm saying is,
religion.
To me, I know this is religion, and this is religion.
Oh,
what I'm saying is,
the thing is, we ain't gonna win this argument. We shouldn't have even spoke about it, to be fair. But, it's we can read and we can digest and we can that, but we'll never know. But what I do know is 5,000 years ago, none of these religions existed, and I bet you black people weren't killing black people then, other than if it was a tribal thing. Your wife.
I don't know. I'm gonna
wipe out the village then.
I'm gonna come back. Hey, Andrew, come back at you on that one.
Tonya, how are you anyway, honey?
Hey, I'm doing fine. Glad to be back. Y'all was in a full conversation.
Where you been hiding, girl? You been counting them votes? Catching them votes?
I hurt my leg. I'm in a cast, so that was another thing. And we now virtual. So in Ohio, we are in the purple. So that means that they shut everything back down. Not so much of like work, but schools. Education is now virtual. In most parts of the city. I have been virtual for it's going on a month now. I fell and I had some calf muscle damage. I feel like a basketball player without playing basketball.
I did before. What was you doing?
I was at a park for an event and there was some shrubbery and I ended up getting my feet wrapped up in it. and I thought it would heal, but apparently not. So I'm in a cast to December 15th. So I'm in a cast.
I've got to stop you there. How the hell was you breakdancing? How do you get your foot stuck in something?
That's what I tried to say.
Jazzy run on the stuff.
Instead of me saying that I failed, that would be a good conversation piece. Like, I was breakdancing, I was playing basketball. No, I was literally walking, and my feet got caught in the shrubbery. And then for 2 weeks, the doctor kept saying it will, get better, just ice it and use heat. No, I had muscle damage. So I'm in a cast from my knee down to my foot until December the 15th. And just, again, President Biden and Madam VP Harris. So just literally the whole month of November, I've been seeing in news, watching, and some of my parents, because again, I teach Somali children and I teach African children. So I've been watching in other states, other countries, just to get a perspective of how they look at us, how the news are. Just like Andrew said, like our news is so different. Like you don't get the full scope of
it's gone quiet, man. It's gone quiet. It has gone quiet since 45.
I love that.
It's gone quiet. All the sniping, the barbing, all the nastiness has kind of dissipated for a bit. So,
well, I won't say it's that disappeared, but it's going away because again, all the different, just from the United States and what we're seeing is that all the cases that he had tried. So what it was is that he was trying cases only in the states that he was lagging, but you didn't want the recount votes for the states that you were winning. It was just, no, you cannot, it has to be fair democracy. Yeah. And you really was taking democracy and you was changing to your own perspective.
Yeah.
And so finally, the Republican Party is now understanding what is happening because now they're being fired. So instead of them waiting until he really is removed from office and he does this tell-all, they're now starting to tell all. So, they're now starting to come forth with all this information, which we already knew as the people. We already knew.
Yeah, but will he be prosecuted? Will someone follow the money to see what benefit he has protected from being?
Well, from what we are hearing and what we're seeing is that I know from what Biden said, he's not going to pardon him, and that was one of the things that because he's been using the Richard, Jimmy Carter and Richard Nixon. And how he pardoned him. And Biden said, no, I will not. Because first of all, you've done treason. You have, systematic racism. Like everything you could ever think of to a country's democracy, you have changed. And so Biden has continued to say he's not going to pardon him. And so what is going on now? I think we're about 48 days left before January the 20th. And again, with COVID, we are at we have broken records and not even in our own states. Every day, our governor, DeWine, he's been having what they call press conferences and talking about COVID and how it's literally our hospitals are at the brink of, they cannot take anyone else. Like they come in and they're going to the ICU. So that was what the call was yesterday when he did the press conference. It was really saying like you are foolish if you're not wearing a mask because people in America are still not wearing a mask. Yes, he doesn't want to shut the city down or even the country down because of what happened back in March. People literally went under. There's no protection for, I won't even say it's not, everybody keeps saying the poor and working families. No, it's for anybody. Your money does not matter with COVID.
Do you know the problem I've got with masks? When this first happened in March, and people have the opportunity to get masks then. And I remember the government actually saying, we don't want the members of public to get masks because we don't want the NHS not to have masks. So it was like a case of, no, don't buy anything yet. Let us get our things first. Then they said, the masks that you're getting aren't that any good anyway because they've got to be a certain micron particle. So all these masks that people are getting apparently aren't no good anyway. Unless they've got this filter on and all this other kind of laboratory testing thing. So it's a placebo, but it's the same placebo that says that we couldn't have in March, April, May, June, July, when they locked us down. So it's a joke. It's an absolute farce, a real farce. This bloody COVID, a real farce.
And you said a great thing is, again, when it happened in March and we all went home for the first time because of COVID. This is why a lot of the constituents in the Republican Party and even people who are close to 45 are now speaking out, is because if they were told at the very beginning for the first 5 to 6 months.
What call him 45?
That's 45.
I need to get that in. Why do you call him 45?
45, he downplayed everything. He continued to downplay. Even now, he downplayed. Even when he got COVID, he downplayed. Like half of the White House had COVID because of 45. So, and then all the super spreaders and all the events where he was literally saying on the news, saying at any event that he would go to, not to wear masks. And this is where now the mayors and the governors are splitting, because they're seeing their cities and their states ravished because of COVID. Yeah. And so now we're understanding that, just like when President Obama came in, he had this daunting task to change our country. And it's even worse now because, like President Obama said, I gave you a playbook. I gave it to you. If you would have did this, what I'm saying? I'm not going to say we would have not had COVID, but it would have been minimized. Just like, we are now superseding other countries like Germany and China, who have already been on their second and third wave. We're in a midst of a first and second and third wave with astronomical like numbers that are like off the charts, where it's almost to where like it will take about 2 years. From what we was listening to, one doctor was saying
2 years
because of how long the COVID has allowed to spread. So this is just things that I've been reading, and for instance, like you're saying you have a vaccine, but we've had cancer and AIDS and other
exactly.
That's a good point, man.
Exactly.
Like
something. I was thinking
the same
thing today. The same thing I was thinking. Hold on a minute. How come, right?
Because I'm a cancer survivor. So that's what I'm saying. There is no cure still.
In 4 months, 5 months,
for COVID? And you want the American people. You want the American people. Let's be honest, the African American people to take this vaccine. A lot of constituents and people, I'll just say people that I know, we talked and we had this conversation. It's almost like a modern day Tuskegee, Tuskegee, where we're going to make it like fake it till you make it. So who's going to pass away? And that's when I look at this COVID, like it was this man-made disease, and it really literally went airborne. And it has really changed the way we live. And I won't even say the way we live. It really has disrupted education. This is for me as being a teacher. It has almost dismantled the education world of how we teach, how we learn, how we grow, and like money and things, they come and go. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have some set off. You have insurance to offset things and whatever have you. But education, you have children who are now 1 year already behind, maybe 1 year or 2 years. Now you're going to be 2 to 3 years because a lot of our children are not equipped with the equipment to be online. And it's not just it's not a race. It is a culture. And that's what I want, people, my families and people to know that, they always say African Americans or people of color. No, this is affecting everyone from Black, white,
everybody.
We see it as an educator. I see it. It's dismantled. It's almost flattened the education system. Because a lot of our students are not equipped to be online. A lot of parents are not equipped. It almost
there's parts of UK where you can't even get speeds of 2 megabytes.
Right.
One guy got quoted. And this farmer, he approached one of the telecom company because he could get a grant for £5,000, and they quoted him 75 grand to fit broadband to his one house. Like,
what?
So there's lots of places, there's lots of kids. If you're rural now and you ain't got good internet, That's it. You've been left behind. Sorry, we can't help
and that's
you.
how it is here. And that's the thing. You know, we fall through the cracks. And I am a pen pal to a UK third grade class. And when I see their class, they're in class, you know, they don't have no mask. And we talk about that all the time, where she was saying that, you know, they're almost over that way. They have come to like a conclude, you know, a standstill, not saying that it's over, but it's, you know, it's where we could still, we were in
one of the biggest reason why COVID started again, in my opinion, and it was because the kids and the students went back. Because if you look at the epicenters of where the outbreak started, all those areas had universities.
You think the people should have just stayed away?
It has like
I don't know what the solution would have been, because, like you say, education is really important. But it was obvious that, let's be honest, if you've ever had kids and your kids go to nursery and school, you always have a cold. You always catch something, because your kids, they go and go, oh, my best friend, and then they come home and they go, oh, mommy, oh, daddy, I love you, I love you, I love you. So you're like, yeah, man. Yeah. Next thing, you're sneezing. Kids are just big germs.
Question. What is the solution? Is the solution the vaccine?
Nope.
For me, I know it's not going to shut down, but everybody keeps saying, you know, that they are going to shut, you know, down for another 6 to 8 weeks. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, because again, just our foundation of, you know, currency and money and jobs are at the brink of another depression, like back in 2008. So I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But only thing I say is that I say wear your mask, even though a lot of them don't have it. You know, I'm sorry, not the N95. That's the one that has the filter. Have a mask. You know, make sure you wear it when you go out. You know, this is just like the swine flu and and other pandemics that have happened in the past. You know, I think we have to be conscious, and I think this last year it was blown up as a hoax. So now you have to almost recreate a culture that this is serious, because you have 45 in administration for almost 7 months say it was a hoax, it's not real. Even when he caught it, it was a hoax, it was nothing. I took this quick little vaccine and now I'm cured. And you're now having to reprogram society to understand what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just like back when you get yourself vaccinated, it literally was like science tells you, you know what I'm saying? Science is telling you. So I feel is, you know, we cannot shut down. That's just my personal view, because again, people have jobs and work, but to wear your mask, to, you know, again, be mindful of where you're going.
And again, one of the other problems is we've already been told before the last lockdown about wearing masks, and a lot of people did, but the numbers still went up. So
can I just talk about, you know, Tonya touched on the base about, you know, talking about a recession and so on and so forth. Has anyone ever looked into the Great Reset?
Yeah.
And obviously, what's going to happen? This is all a ploy. This is all a plan.
What they say is going to happen.
Yeah. You know, from what, you know, just like I said, when it first happened, and what has came out now is that, you know, like President Obama said, it had been here since 2016 in some type of manner, not really touching the U.S., but that COVID had been out there. And so when he left office, it was like, listen, I'm passing this on to you. And I think, you know, again, 45 administration, you know how you think about what? Yeah, you don't understand. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand politics and understand what you are as the ruler. So I think a lot of key concepts in holding the highest job in the land went over your head, because the way you even got in. So then you put yourself around people who are just yesers and not really understanding, you know, what it is. You know, when I look at President Obama, even, you know, President Biden, they had a history of being in the military, history of dealing with diplomacy. They had, you know, dealing with overseas, dealing with, you know, different things that was really a constituent when it comes to our world, our country, and how we shared and how we disagree to agree. But diplomacy, as I call it, I'm sorry for that's the word, but diplomacy. And I think that COVID was really, it got overblown because no one, including them, really kept saying, oh, it's not here, and now it's here. And yes, that recess could be really, it's here because people are losing their job. Again, COVID does not have a face. You can be the most wealthy and you're dying, the most wealthy, and your money can't save you. There's not one place in this world that you can go. When there was a swine flu, everybody went to Germany, everybody was leaving the country. You can leave the country and COVID's there. You know what I'm saying? So there's no hiding. So that's when I look at the COVID, it was not done. And so some of the things that could have been prevented or even at least minimized are now so far gone that it's like I'm walking into, you walk into a job and you like, what in the world? Who was this last person working? They ain't done nothing for a year. And that's what you're talking about, but you're talking about lives. Lives are literally dying. So now, as I felt with the election, that as a people, it wasn't just this person, this Republican or Democrat. It was as a people realized that we had to change democracy so that we can find a solution. Because if not, more and more people are going to die. They're dying every day. I think they said like 5,000 cases a day just in Ohio alone. Like we're being one of the highest hit in our city of Columbus because of COVID. And then with Mike DeWine doing some of the things that he has done, it has caused a strain. So that's another thing too. 45 is now in a fluff because the governors and mayors are they're not listening to him anymore. They're doing their own thing to minimize the carnage and, to minimize the death toll that is happening in their states. Not just, you're talking about healthy people going into the hospital and then they're not coming out. And that's what they talked about yesterday, where people were coming into the hospital. These are healthy 20, 30, 40-year-old people going to the hospital with just similar or, at the beginning stages of COVID and then never leaving, and literally passing away in 1 to 2 weeks. Like I've seen some of my friends who have caught COVID and it was like one day they would show up on Facebook and say, hey, I have COVID. And the next time I would see them, they were in ICU or they had heart damage or they had lung failure. Like it was literally like it was instant. It was no, and it's just a grace of God to even come back. But just then we talk about the now pre-existing condition. So not even a recovery, but just think about you now becoming a pre-existing condition because you still have those symptoms and you still symptomatic even after it's over. So now a lot of people are now getting re-affected after they've had it. So it's just, I don't know what solution. I just know that there has to be something, and it's going to start from our government now taking the place in what needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? What needs to do? What are the other countries doing to minimize COVID? And working with those other countries so that we can find, it might not never be a cure. I don't know. But how do we minimize it so that we can live in some type of way that we're not where we're at now?
But Tonya, they're already turning around and saying that there's a solution. They're saying that there's a vaccine. They're saying that we can go back to normal life. They're saying that this is the cure. They're saying that this is the way. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you know what? Hearing what you're saying right about now, I sense great fear in you. So it's all pointing down to those that are scared. You're going to take the vaccine.
Yeah. And that's where a lot of the jobs are even saying like I've just been watching a lot more news and a lot more world news, and where they're saying like, will it be mandatory for you to keep your job? Will it be mandatory for your kid to go to school? So a lot of things,
it will be, because you describe it as people are dying, people are getting it again, people having issues after they've had it. You're speaking from the fear of what this virus is about. So here comes fear, and here comes a solution.
Yep.
So now everyone's
and that's what was placed in this world was fear, and that's what we always can say. And for me, it is like faith over fear. Continue to do, and put your faith in your, and who you honor and who you believe in. But when you talk to COVID, it's such a tough subject.
This is a great, this is a great subject. Let's leave it there for this week. Let's we can continue talking about this next week when we get some new information. Obviously, we're all in lockdown. We're gonna get something new anyway. So we're more along the road. It's been a great show, guys. Feel a lot of arguments, a lot of disagreements, a lot of flipping, putting me in my place. But, yeah, it's good to have you back, Tonya. And you know what? I'm coming for you, Andrew. You know when I say this, I'm coming for you, innit? You're next. I came for Nigel last week, and I'm coming for you next, Andrew. Watch. I always win.
You don't always win.
I won against you last week. Yeah, I'm going to win against
last week.
Andrew, make sure you turn up. Send
me some lame pictures of He-Man.
Yeah. Guys, good night, man. Good night.
See you later.
Bye.